good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, maybe evening, maybe morning in your part of the world, but it is great to have you on this Wealth Rising Update webinar, presentation, think tank, brainstorming, contest, all kinds of ideas we're going to be sharing here today and just interacting with you folks. So it's a real pleasure, and I'm thrilled that you took the time out of your busy schedule to be on this Wealth Rising webinar update for April 7th, 2017. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, throughout the presentation, I'm going to be sharing a few things and some ideas and some strategies that we're working on as well to really build up some steam, build up some momentum in Wealth Rising. And we've got some great ideas, and we've got some great people and some great leaders that are cheering for us and that are helping this cause. And you're going to hear a little bit about that strategy and about those plans a little bit later on. But before we get started, I want to just turn this over to Gerhard. He wants to do a little sharing with you all in regards to the contest that was put out there in regards to composing some killer copyright material, something that's that we can all use for promoting Wealth Rising. I know there's many great writers in the room here. Many guys, they just and ladies. They do an awesome job of putting together composing a nice general message. And the key is to develop some congruency, some pattern that we all in Wealth Rising are sort of sending out the same message to our potential prospects, the people joining Wealth Rising. Something that's unique, something that's not too long and powerful and to the point. So Gerhard's going to come on here and just to share a little bit with you all what has been submitted. And as always, we reach out to the talents of the community. And without further delay, join me in welcoming Gerhard Rempel.
Sound check. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Brand new headset. I'm not sure if it works. Can you please let me know if you guys can hear me? Too low. I'm gonna crank it up a little bit. How's that? It's at 80%. Is that any better? All right, very good. Yeah, I was telling Pete that before we started recording, I just want to briefly explain to you how we want to do the contest for the messages to be sent out to your prospects, which can also be slightly modified and be used in your promotions. But Pete says it's still too low. Let me crank it up some more. Okay, there I am at 95%. Is that any better? Still hard to hear. Okay, now I'm maxed out. Is that any better, folks? Okay, awesome. Yeah, how we will do the contest? Either Heath or John Chapman, whoever is available, to quickly check the forum and Facebook one last time while we start the recording to see if any additional messages have been submitted for the contest. We will put them in by numbers. The first message that was submitted will be number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So on. So when we get to doing the contest, our volunteers, either Heath or John Chapman or Karen or whoever is a mod in here, otherwise a link does not show up, would be kindly asked to post the link to the forum where those messages are posted. So then you would go and read those messages, and then I will pop up a poll that will show up on your screen in by numbers. For example, message number 1, number 2, number 3. As you have read them in the forum, then you would simply just click on the number of your choice, and then click on the button to vote, and then the poll will disappear from your screen. So very, very simple, very easy. All I need is a volunteer that will quickly go and check the forum and Facebook to see if any additional messages besides those that we saw this morning have been submitted. And then once we're up to that point, we will start the contest. And like I said, please, as soon as somebody posts the links to those messages on the forum, go read them. So by the time I pop up the poll, that you will have already made up your mind which.
Thank you so much, Gerhard. Appreciate the update, and we'll be hearing from Gerhard after the presentation here as well to just update everyone. So, all right, Karen, I'll give you the countdown here. We will start the recording here in 10 seconds. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It may be morning, it may be evening in your part of the world. My name is Pete Redekop. Greetings from the tropics of Belize, Central America. Great to have all of our Wealth Rising participants and guests with us here today. It is April 7th, 2017. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have gotten together here today, all of us here from all different walks of life, from different backgrounds, from different countries, and it's great to see so many different flags in this room. But it gives me great pleasure just to share with you a little bit here today, and just be transparent and be open. We have many things that we want to share today, and one of the things that I want to start off here today is I want to just say a special thank you to all of the leaders in Wealth Rising that have really catapulted, that have really driven Wealth Rising. I see the countless hours that our wonderful helper and admin Vivian has put in, and oh my gosh, and the countless hours that Gerhard and her put into assuring that everything runs flawlessly and making sure that those RAs go out in a timely fashion. My hat's off, and to all the leaders that are continuously inviting and sharing and just sending a positive message. We know who you are, so thank you so much. And for those of you that are new, possibly looking at Wealth Rising for the very first time, or maybe just got your feet wet a bit, I always love to put my foot into the shoe of the brand new person, just on the fence, just dabbling, just thinking about it, just ready to make a move and not 100% sure if this is for them or not. Well, I can share with you folks that I've seen the countless hours that Gerhard, my uncle, just for the record, has put into Wealth Rising. I mean, this began in Canada last year when Gerhard and I, we would sit down in Tim Hortons, our favorite coffee shop in Canada. We would sit there for hours and hours and hours on end, and just pages and pages of notes, brainstorming on how to make this community flow, what little things that we could insert into Wealth Rising to make it unique and make it different from anything else that's out there. And that's, of course, where the CRF came to be. That's where the matching, the member-to-member, the whole transparency. And for those of you that don't know us that well or are new to the Wealth Rising project, our sister project, Crowd Rising, has 300,000 participants. And we have a very aggressive plan that we are working, and it is in process as I speak right now with some very, very capable people. We're driving a team build, and we're driving people into Wealth Rising. That has already begun. You're going to hear more about this pilot project that we are doing, and it's going to bring some great momentum into Wealth Rising. It has already created massive awareness for this project, and the icing on the cake is coming because we've got something great how we are stepping people into Wealth Rising. So I'm going to get started here with the actual presentation portion of this webinar here today. I mean, for those of you that don't know what Wealth Rising is, it's a global cooperative member-to-member assistance project. Now, pretty simple, right? When you really think about that, a member-to-member cooperative, right? A global cooperative where you are really a shareholder in this project. I mean, that's a simple way of putting it. You are a shareholder, each and every one of you. So it's just great to have you all with us here, and I am absolutely thrilled to be sharing with you here today. Now, how does it work? You join. Someone in the community has given you a referral link, or maybe someone special, someone dear to you has shared verbally a little bit about Wealth Rising and how it works. Well, it's very simple. You create your account through the referral link. Make sure you're registering under the person that you intended to register under. Very simple process of getting set up, going to your profile, adding your Bitcoin wallet, and just setting your profile all up. It doesn't take a lot of time. Now, the first thing that you need to do if you want to become active, which of course you're going to want to do real quick, is you need to go and pay that $2 Bitcoin account activation fee. You go make that payment, it gives you the amount of Bitcoin, you insert the hash, and you are done. You now have the ability to PA. PA for short, it's provide assistance. And you have access to a members only forum as well, and access to our live chat support. Tons and tons of support in Wealth Rising. One of the things I will tell you, and I know my Uncle Gerhard, he prides himself on this, as the support has to be top-notch. And when people come for questions, support-related issues, whatever it may be, they get timely answers, and that is a commitment that he is absolutely adamant about. So it's great to have that. And I know many of you have been in programs maybe similar, and yet there are no real similarities to Wealth Rising. I mean, I've heard people compare this to MMM Global, but please, let's not get confused at all. This is not MMM Global. This does not work like MMM Global. This is very transparent in comparison to MMM Global or any of those other projects out there. So you have your Bitcoin wallet ready when you are ready to provide assistance. So you make sure, like if you want to do provide assistance for $300, make sure that you have a little over $300 in your Bitcoin wallet, because you all know Bitcoin fluctuates, right? So if you go to do a $300 PA, then all of a sudden Bitcoin drops a bit, and all of a sudden you don't have $300, you're going to be stuck, right? So you need to make sure you have a little extra in there. Decide the amount you want to PA, you select your plan, they're all right there. When you join and you click that button, every single plan, all four of them are right there. You enter your amount in $10 increments. Now here's what makes Wealth Rising very unique and a very exciting opportunity, because it has the CRF, a Community Reserve Fund. The Community Reserve Fund is a system which serves as an insurance policy to ensure any RAs not matched within a certain time frame that it will be covered from the CRF. Now, I want to be very clear with the CRF. It is something that is really used as a meter, as a gauge to see how the project is flowing, right? So it's a really good way of looking at the CRF, the Community Reserve Fund, and gauging what is happening in the ratio of PAs to RAs. But I want to make myself again very clear and make sure that we all understand that we should not be relying on the CRF to fulfill our RAs, our request assistances. What's really important is that we as a community lock arms and that we get busy doing what networkers, what leaders do to ensure longevity. We need to ensure that we're out marketing, we're sharing, we're doing some posts on our social media, that we're attracting new members into the community. Because let's face it, we've got a long ways to go here yet with Wealth Rising. Most of you know the beta phase started in October of 2016. We started with the old site. It was a very manual process, and it worked flawlessly for the most part. I mean, the site wasn't pretty or nothing. It wasn't flashy. There weren't no big mansions on the site. There's still not. There's no bags of money. There's no girls in bikinis on the site. You're not going to find that with Wealth Rising. We're not looking for hype. We're not looking for rah-rah. We're not into a pie in the sky. This is a group of entrepreneurs, leaders, movers, and shakers, and an admin that is 100% transparent and committed to you. So now, let's cover the CRF a little bit. Members pay into the CRF, every single participant of the community. And before being able to do an RA, and this builds a reserve that can be used in case of an emergency. And emergency, let's talk about that for a moment. When we say in case of an emergency, let's say there was a real slowdown anyone coming in or anyone deciding to put new Bitcoin funds into the project. That would, of course, that would affect the RAs, right? The people that do a request assistance. So in the event there was no PAs coming in and lots of RAs, I mean, that's what the CRF is designed to do. In a timely fashion, fulfill those payments, if you will, that come through. Now, let's go to the next slide here. I'm having some challenges with my mouse. It's not letting me navigate here, so I'm struggling with these slides here, but let me try this. All right, here we are. The plans. There are four, as I mentioned earlier. There is the minimizer, the Kickstarter, the optimizer, and the maximizer. And we're going to cover all four of those plans here. Okay, the minimizer, the minimum PA is $20. And again, this information is all on the site. The maximum amount is $100. The increments are $10. The growth is 2% per day, and the growth is posted every 24 hours. It's a 15-day plan, and the maximum growth is 30% through the duration of that 15 days, and total upon maturity is 130%. There is no CRF contribution on the minimizer, but you will be capped at one minimizer. That's something new. There for a while we were allowing people to do multiples, and it was absolutely amazing to see how many people would go there and do multiple minimizers just to avoid that CRF. Now, one thing you have to understand is that CRF is there as an insurance policy, if you will, for all of us. So to not contribute to it would be, in my own personal opinion, very shallow and not thinking of the future, not thinking ahead. So we all definitely need to contribute to that, and we do as we go out and as we go and provide assistance into any of the plans. Now let's cover the Kickstarter. The minimum Kickstarter, minimum PA amount is $110. The maximum is $300. Again, increments of 10, the growth is 2%, and it's a 15-day plan, and maximum growth 30%. Total upon maturity is 130%. CRF contribution on the Kickstarter is 10%, and the total maximum PA on the Kickstarter is $300. And your active PA here, these plans are all explained in your back office. There's how it works, there's videos, there's all kinds of information that go over these plans step by step with you. So it's really easy to understand. So if you've got a plan here that's earning you 30% over the course of 15 days, the math is quite simple actually. Your $300 grows, right? I mean, your initial growth here it's 2% per day. So very simple to figure out. And your 10% of your PA amount, which would be $30, would be your CRF contribution here, and you can go and do your PA, right? Your RA. I know we all get tongue-tied between PA and RA. That is a term that is very, very unique to Wealth Rising. Now let's talk a little bit about the optimizer. I mean, once you understand one plan, you pretty much you get them all, right? The only difference really is the numbers slightly vary. The minimum PA for the optimizer is $100. The maximum is $1,000. And again, increments $10. That doesn't change. The growth here is 2.2%, and it's a 30-day plan here. So the maximum growth is 66%. The total upon maturity is 166%. The CRF contribution here is 20%. 20% of the PA amount. So, for example, if you're doing a $1,000 PA here, your contribution here will be $200 in Bitcoin, right? So again, quite simple to grasp that and understand how the plans work. Now the maximizer is minimum $300 to a maximum of $5,000, and the increments again doesn't change, 10. Growth 2.5%, and the growth posted again every 24 hours. And you have a maximum growth here of 75%. Okay, this is where some people get tripped up, and I want to make myself really clear here. When you do a PA in the maximizer or any one of the plans, all you got to do is look at the numbers. 75% is your maximum growth. 25% is your CRF contribution, which is something that you need to be aware of, and you need to make sure that you have that Bitcoin in your wallet, because before you can do an RA, you must go make that 25% contribution to the CRF. Now, look at 75% maximum growth. 25% goes to the CRF. So your net growth is really 50%. So it's very, very simple to figure out, right? So let's use an example. If you did $1,000 here, and you'd have 750 posted in growth, and then from that 750 to 50, right? 250 goes to the CRF before you're eligible to do the RA, and then you get the balance, 1,500 to your Bitcoin after that 30-day plan has matured. Now let's face it, that is very, very generous. Where do you find something that is as transparent, as real, and as flawless as this is? I mean, this system is working, ladies and gentlemen. It is working. We have a near 100% flawless system now. And it took a long time to get there. Lots of work, lots of dedication, but we are definitely on the right track. Now it's just time for all of us to get real excited and start inviting and start sharing and getting this message out there in a massive way. Now, once your PA has matured, discovered that, you can submit an RA. In the plan, if the plan was a Kickstarter, optimizer, or maximizer, then a CRF must be made. Only the minimizer does not have one. The system will then match you with other members requesting a PA. So it's a really well-oiled machine, ladies and gentlemen, when you really stop and think about it. I mean, there's two sides to this project. The side that comes in and does a PA, and then there's all of the inner workings of this incredible platform. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot that goes on in between. But at the other end, you've got the RAs. So the PAs are matched with the RAs. So it's a really unique system where there's a streamlined system that looks at the plans first, looks at amounts, and Garrett has explained that many times, but just trust me, ladies and gentlemen, this works seamlessly, and it is an awesome system that you can be proud of and that you can go out and share with confidence to your people. So the referral commission structure, well, it's a very unique reverse order structure where you earn more when you really start to help the participants that are beneath you, right? So your first level, 2%, second 2%, third, fourth, you see the picture here real quickly, right? Level 4 pays you 5%. I mean, how powerful is that when you really stop and think about this for a moment, and you get the picture here real quickly that if you go out and you help your first level people, get a few people and get them excited, those second level people are going to duplicate your efforts. You're going to have a level 3 team and a level 4 team real quickly, and you're going to see the fruits of your labor very, very quickly. There's leader bonuses as well. Anyone who has at least 12 or more people that do a minimum $100 PA, they receive an extra 5% for leadership bonus. And you're going to see that in a separate column in your back office. And again, very, very powerful. If you're a leader and you're willing to roll up your sleeves and go to work, you can do magnificent things with this project. Now, support. There's many options that you have for support, and again, Gerhard is so adamant about support, and that has to be top-notch, and it has been top-notch, right? Anyone who's come to live chat or put in a support ticket or gone to the forum or in our Skype rooms, you get your support questions answered in a very timely fashion here at Wealth Rising. I think we all would agree on that, right? So, all right, I think, let me just flip this down here. I'm not able to advance this any further, but I think that's the end. That's the end of the PowerPoint here, yeah. So I'm just going to say thank you to each and every one of you. And I know Heath's going to be coming on here as well with Gerhard. They're going to be bouncing back and forth. But let me just turn this back to Gerhard. And I just, again, in closing here, I want to encourage you guys. I really, really want to encourage you to uh, share the vision, share the focus. I mean, we've got so much here to offer the community and to offer people out there that have been burned, that have been dragged through the mud and that have been hammered on. And we all can relate to that because we've all been there, right? And to reach out to those people and say, you know what, there's truly something very, very unique here, and you really want to pay attention. And it takes a little bit of time to understand, to wrap your mind around the concept. But once you get it, once the light comes on, you know what? You're going to be sold, and you're going to get really, really excited. It's that transfer of belief that you need to insert in the people that you are talking to and attract them to wealth rising. Maybe start them off. Give them a little $20 complimentary PA just to get them excited. If they're close to you, they're dear to you, why not, right? Give them a $20 PA and just say, come on in, test the waters, see what you think. I know people have done that, and it can pay off in an enormous way. So again, just want to encourage you, and I have rambled on quite a while here, so I'm going to just turn this over to Gerhard. You've come here to learn a little bit more about some other things, the contests, and all kinds of great information and news. So join me in welcoming our very own admin, Gerhard Reppel. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Pete. That was an awesome presentation and an awesome, what I like to call a powwow. Getting the message out, spreading the excitement, sharing the excitement, I should say. Now, before we get into the contest, one of our awesome moderators.
Excuse me, Uncle G, I hate to step on you, but your volume is a little low. If you can go back up to 100%, I'm pretty sure the community will appreciate it.
All right, sorry about that. I didn't realize I had to sign out and come back in because I lost audio, and it set my slider, my mic slider back to default, which is 50%. How's that? Is that any better? Okay, as I was saying, before we get into the contest, I think it's John Chapman, our awesome moderator and forum admin. He's an awesome individual. He's a great asset to the entire community, as are you, Heath, Karen, and a host of others. I really, really want to, take the time out and say a big thank you to each and every one of you that have done so much in supporting the entire community. It does not go unnoticed. However, we often forget to let it be known that we really appreciate the time and effort that you put into this. But nonetheless, it is heartfelt, and we really do appreciate each and every one of you. Now, while the link will be posted to the messages on the forum, I'm just going to briefly share a little bit of an update with you. Once the link is posted, take your time and just go there, read the messages, and the poll that will pop up will show the messages by numbers. So after you have read the messages, then you simply just on the poll select your choice and then click to vote. Now, I know most of you, I think it's pretty safe to say that everybody would like to see those RAs you're being completed way faster, at least within the promised 48 hours. However, we have already witnessed that it is no longer possible. So I will repeat it again. It is no longer humanly possible to honor that promise. So the time it would take for RAs to be either matched or processed out of the CRF, can no longer be said in a specific time frame, because we would just be disappointing everybody. We would just set up a whole bunch of people up for disappointment, and that is the last thing that I personally would want to do. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to be brutally honest with everybody and tell you that it is no longer possible. As of this moment, it's only Vivian and I who are in the know and have access to the to the important database that that can process, pull them up and process them out of the CRF. It's not an easy thing. I mean, it may sound very easy to those that have no idea what exactly it takes to pull an RA out of the queue and process it manually, where the system will then add that RA into the completed section. First of all, it pulls it out of the queue, and then it allows us to manually process, or in other words, pay. Although we're not supposed to use the word payment, because payment implies that Walt Rising is a passive investment firm, which is not what it is. So I'll try not to use the word payment, you know, but I do use it just as a reference for simplicity's sake. We process as many RAs as we possibly can, but again, it's a manual process. They have to be done one by one, and there's only so and so many hours per day or night that Vivian and I can do this, because she works full time. I can continue doing the RAs, but it's a very, very slow process for one person alone to do it. First of all, you have to go into the system, find the RAs, hold it out, isolate it from the queue, and once that has been done, then you open up that RA and find out if any contributions have already made. If so, the system shows us the balance remaining to be sent, to complete that RA. So whatever the case then is, oftentimes it has already been matched, so we have to skip it. We cannot touch those RAs that have already been matched, because by doing so, the recipient would then receive multiple contributions, and that would be totally unfair, right? So we made several mistakes. Many of our fellow participants did receive multiple contributions, and we have asked them to do the right thing and contact us, send a support ticket, and, just be honest and let us know, because we know who they are that have received multiple contributions. We're hoping that they will do the right thing and let us know in such a case, and simply, where we can simply give them instructions on how to return the additional funds that were sent to them in error. So I admit we have made several mistakes that caused multiple payments going out to the same recipient on the same RA. But having said that, we will continue to the best of our ability to process all of the older RAs as fast and as accurately as we can, either in part or in full. But please do understand that if your RAs are sitting there for more than 48 hours, it's not because anybody's dragging their feet or not anything like that. It's simply because we have not been able to get to your RAs, or B, there have not been enough incoming PAs to cover the RAs. So if we all band together, and if we all work as one, as a team, and help the community grow, that situation will turn around very quickly. But whatever the case may be, let's just move forward. We now have a nearly flawless working system. We have a beautiful website. Some of the content still needs to be tweaked a little bit, added, and some content is still missing, but we're getting there. Slowly we're getting there. So now is the perfect time to really roll up our sleeves and lock arms and get to work and help, mutually support one another, and make this happen, and make it happen in a big way for everybody. Let me quickly post this link. Heath was posting the link to the forum. However, he is not a mod yet. To my surprise, I thought we had given him mod rights, but apparently not. Let me just quickly repost the link, otherwise it does not show up. So there's the link. Please go and read the messages that have already been entered into the contest. They will be popped up by numbers, and then you will cast your vote based on the that you think is the best. Okay. What else was it? Okay, and another thing that I should have already announced a couple of days ago, but as you can just imagine, the things that I'm trying to do, I often start to already to fail, to post important updates and announcements, which is just such a case with the use of the referral commissions. When we first asked the programmer to enable the phase one of the referral commissions that you could use to do new PAs, I figured that would only make sense to allow anybody to use all of their referral commissions in PAs. And that is still the case. However, please make note that because of many of our fellow participants abusing, well, I shouldn't say that, but basically it boils down to it. What I mean to say is they try to avoid the CRF. They have already earned or received quite a bit in contributions. They have quite an amount of referral commissions, which was earned and rightfully theirs to do with the commissions as they please. Like I said in phase one is to do new PAs. However, we have discovered more and more and more of them. Instead of doing a Kickstarter or optimizer or maximizer where they had to contribute to the CRF, lo and behold, they do dozens upon dozens of minimizer, 100 minimizer PAs simply to avoid the contribution to the CRF. And we felt that that was just unacceptable. I mean, you don't want to turn this into a dictatorship, but I'm pretty sure that you would agree with Vivian and myself, my nephew Pete, and several other key leaders that have said that this is just not acceptable. I mean, what there's just no need for that. I mean, let's give the project a break and do the right thing. Let's all contribute, not try to avoid the contribution and deliberately finding ways to deplete the CRF instead of working together and adding more to the CRF so we can use part of those funds to invest in real hard assets and start creating multiple streams of outside sources of revenue for our project, right? So that it's not just going to be what currently is, a mutual financial assistance project. That will never change. It will always remain. We might have to tweak it a little bit, but the concept will never change. That will always remain for as long as Vault Rising is alive. That concept will never change. It will always be there. But it is what it is, folks. It is not an automated money-making machine. So therefore, we have to realize that we got to treat this as our own opportunity, and it takes participation. It's just like any offline business. If you were to start a business, if you didn't take care of that business, you would very, very soon find yourself out of business, right? And the same can happen here, but we need to do our part to avoid that from happening. We cannot allow that to happen, right? So that's pretty much all I have oh, sorry, I need to backtrack. I got sidetracked here when I was talking about the referral commissions and the plans. I asked the programmer to put a cap on the plans. He was only supposed to put a cap on the minimizer and on the Kickstarter. For example, you can use your commissions to do a minimizer, a Kickstarter, optimizer, and maximizer. However, the two smaller plans, I asked him to cap it where you can only do one. It's maxed out. That's all you can do. You have to wait till that matures, and then you can do another PA. But you can no longer simultaneously do hundreds or I should say dozens of PAs from your commissions, from your balance, because that, in my opinion, and everybody else that I consulted agreed with us that is not fair. They do that simply to avoid the CRF, and we had no choice but to put a stop to it. I know there will be people that will not like the idea, but if you really come to think about it, if you really understand this whole concept, then you will very quickly realize, hey, wait a minute, that's true. I mean, why avoid and deliberately try to deplete our reserve fund instead of finding ways to add more and do our part, to contribute more, because we're already taking out. Bunches and bunches are taking out, so why not, put something back, make it possible for the next person that comes after us, so that they can also get their RAs on it, right? So, but that's it. That's pretty much all I have for the update. I'm going to briefly turn it over to Heath. He has something that he wants to bring up yet, and then we will get the contest done. While Keith takes the mic, I will go ahead and put up the poll so we can get this contest underway. Over to you, Heath.
Great. Thank you very much, and great job, Pete and Uncle G. As you guys notice in the chat bar, you'll notice that we've already posted twice the actual letters that are connected to the forum. Go ahead, take this time out to go ahead and click on the link, review it, put in your mind kind of like which one that you want to vote for, because at the end of this FAQ, we'll go ahead and we will have that poll. Okay, folks, so at this time, go ahead and start to post your questions. Go ahead and post your questions right there in the chat bar. Please, no more comments, because what happens is a lot of times some of the questions get lost in the comments. So go ahead and post your questions. I will go ahead and read your questions. Oh, they're really coming in now. I will go ahead and read your questions, and we'll go ahead and we'll give it to Uncle G, and we'll try to get the best answer for you as well. And okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. They're starting to come in. All right, Uncle G, here's your first question. How do you submit a PA using your commissions?
$20 or more in referral commissions, then there will be a blue PA button to the right-hand side of your commission balance. If you see a blue PA button to the right of your commissions balance, you click that button and then make your choice of plans and do a PA. Sorry, I think the duplex didn't work. I will try that one more time to see if I can get the duplex mode to work.
Okay.
So I don't cut you off all the time, Heath.
No, we're good. We're good. That was great. Next questions. Do commission PAs require a CRF?
Sorry, the duplex is just not working properly. Yes, all of PAs require a contribution, with the exception of the minimizer plan, of course. Otherwise, all PAs require a CRF contribution regardless of the method of payment, whether it's from commissions or it's from with Bitcoin.
Okay, looks like we have a pause in the questions, so I'm going to go ahead and utilize this time to put a brief note. While I'm actually going over this, if you have a question, go ahead and post it in the chat bar, and we'll go ahead and go over it. Make sure you go to the forum, look at the different letters that have been composed, and we'll go ahead and we'll have a poll at the end of this FAQ. Just giving you just a brief note from the admin and several of the mods regarding live chat. We're getting a lot of questions regarding the RAs and PAs. We ask you that you seek the forum first, because a lot of the up-to-date information is posted in the forum. So that should be your first resource when it comes to asking any question. Kind of seek the forum first, because again, that's where all the up-to-date information is actually posted. We're also getting a lot of questions regarding how to do certain things in Wealth Rising. There's actually 3 steps in which we ask that you teach and tell your fellow participants. And one is, of course, you can definitely register and join for free. The second, you got to go in your back office and you got to watch those videos. A lot of questions that we're getting are simply answered by watching those videos. Those videos are very good, just for the simple fact that you're able to walk step by step through the process. And then, of course, go ahead and have your Bitcoins ready by the time it's time for you to actually do your first PA. That will actually save a lot of time for you, and your time won't run out when it comes to doing your transaction and getting the hash. So on behalf of admin and the mods in the rooms, they wanted me to definitely bringing that to your attention. So now let's go back to the questions. From Marilyn and Lee, will a PowerPoint be available to download, Uncle G?
Times for volunteers to help put one together. We need a beautiful professional PowerPoint put together that will kind of show step by step how it works and how to do things, so that we can have that PowerPoint looping right here in this conference room 24/7. So if anybody would have a prospect, a brand new prospect, you would simply just give them the URL to this conference room, and then they would see that PowerPoint looping 24/7, showing them step by step how everything works. And that very same PowerPoint could also be used in anybody's or everybody's marketing campaign. But we do need volunteers to help us create this, because I know I repeat myself, but you got to realize Walt Rising is not a company. It's not a money-making business. So therefore, it is not just up to me, Vivian, or the support team to create all of this. This is a community-owned project. So everybody has a right here, but at the same time, while everybody has a right in this community, so do you have a responsibility, right? It has to go both ways. It cannot just be a one-way street, right? Back to you, Heath.
Okay, and that also takes care of the question that we had is regarding marketing material. When will marketing materials be available? Lead capture page, autoresponders, messages. I think Uncle G just answered that. The only thing I'd like to add to that is, before anything really goes viral, please go ahead and post it in the forum so we can make sure that we can let it go past our legal team to make sure that we're in compliance. We're saying what we're supposed to be saying and not saying what we're not supposed to be saying. So before you actually post something, whether it be a lead capture, autoresponder, go ahead and post it in the forum. We'll have a section for you. That way it can get approved, not only for yourself, but for other teammates and Wealth Rising if they choose that they would like to use it as well. Okay, next question. After we PA with all our commissions in the new site, will we be able to PA from the commissions we earned from the old site? And doing a PA seems to be the only way that we will be able to get our commissions. Is that true?
Not confuse one with the other. This is not the time nor the place to talk about the old site. I see the same questions being asked over and over and over regarding the old site. I have made that crystal clear how that will take place. So please stop asking about how anything about the old site. We are currently working on the new site, and that is the main focus. And what transpired in the old site is secondary. So yes, the answer is correct. The commissions currently are in phase 1. They can only be used to do new PAs, and it's very simple, because if we already enabled the PAs for RAs, then we would deplete the CRF unnecessarily fast, and I don't think we should, or I don't think anybody would want to do that, right? So let's just leave it at that for now.
Okay, great. Right now we don't have any more questions. If we don't have any more questions, we definitely want to respect your time and not just keep you on this webinar all day. So if anyone else has a question, please feel free to go ahead and post it. If for some reason a question comes up after we log off for the night, don't worry about it. We have a forum in which you can go ask your questions. We also have a Skype room to ask your question, and if need be, we have the live chat available for you. We kind of want to use a live chat for those that are actively in their accounts, in their back office, and need help for PAs and RAs. So that's the only reason why we are suggesting that you guys please check the forum first. That way we can pay more attention to those newcomers to Wealth Rising, and that we can give them the one-on-one VIP treatment that they do deserve for our community. Okay, well, it looks like we don't have any more questions posted. So I'm going to go ahead and turn. Well, we just got one that just snuck in. Question is, when an RA is fulfilled, can a friendly reminder to do another PA be included in the email to the RA recipient?
Absolutely. And that is an awesome suggestion, by the way. Thank you very much. I will Skype that to the programmer. I'll make a note of it, and hopefully I won't forget to pass it on to the programmer to add that note to the automated email going out. Okay, now we really want to do the contest, but I have repeatedly asked if somebody can post how many messages we have in the contest. I cannot put up the poll unless I know how many numbers to create, how many messages there were, so that the attendees can quickly go and read those messages if they haven't done so yet. Come back, the poll will show up on their screen, and then they can click to vote. How many messages do we have?
I remember seeing a total of 3 messages in the actual form.
All right, perfect. Then let me quickly, while you interact with the members, let me quickly bring up the poll, and let's get this contest done so we can award the winner promised $50 in Bitcoin. Over to you, Heath.
Hey, well, while we're waiting for that poll to go ahead and be composed, just letting you know, I'm looking at the chat, and a few of you have requested to gain access to the forum. We'll go ahead and get you approved as soon as we can. You can only imagine that our community is growing, so with a lot of us multitasking, some things just get slipped through the cracks. So I do apologize, but I'll definitely make sure someone goes in today to actually go in and approve those requests for the forum, because we definitely know how important that is for you. We have another question that just came in. Says, I have a quick question too. My RA has been waiting almost a week, which I am fine with. I paid the CRF as well. I have another coming up on Monday, but is it okay to wait until I get my RA to request next?
Talk right now because I'm putting the poll up. So back to you, Heath.
Okay, let me read that one more time. It says, I have a quick question. My RA has been waiting almost a week, which I'm fine with. I paid the CRF. I have another coming up, but is it okay to wait until I get my RA to request the next? Absolutely, it is okay to wait until you get your RA to actually be able to participate. That is totally fine. Again, you are in the driver's seat, so you need to take care of whatever you need to take care of. I do know, however, that the RAs were a little bit behind, but again, we have like 2 of our admins that are actually working this around the clock, which brings me to the next question. A lot of people that I get on the live chat, they ask pretty much the same question. I kind of refer them to go check the forum. Right now, on a nightly basis, they try to post the invoice number or ticket numbers to the actual RAs that have been processed. So that's why a lot of the live chat reps kindly let you know to make sure you check the form under the RAs. There's another specific title, but if you do a search for paid RAs or quick RAs or their where they're at, you can kind of gauge based upon the numbers. Now, it's not done in real time, meaning in sequential order, but you can kind of get a feel for where they are at. And most importantly, you can just see all the work that's actually being done when you're seeing like 10 and 15 RAs actually being completed. So go ahead and check the form for that. Okay, it looks like the poll is up. So I'll go ahead and turn this back over to Uncle G so he can explain it, so we can go ahead and get that vote. If you haven't had a chance to read those posts, the link is in the chat. I'll refresh it for you, for those of you that actually came in late. And while I do that, I'm going to give it back to you, Uncle G.
Much, Heath. Much appreciated. Now, if you repeat that link, I will copy and paste it for everybody to see. Please remind me after the call to make you a mod so that you can have access to the controls, and that whatever you post, links or whatever will show up for the attendees to see. Otherwise, only the mods can see links that you post. Okay, that should be the link right there. Now let's give it another 2 minutes. Let's not drag this on because the call is getting unnecessarily long. Let's just quickly give it 2 more minutes for those that are participating in the contest to vote which of the 3 messages you find most appealing or that you would like to be the winner, and then we will find out who that is, quickly award that person in real time the $50 Bitcoin, and then we will close this call. Okay, I see number 1.
Okay, and while we're waiting, why don't we go ahead and send it back to Pete? Pete, if you have any closing comments, let's go ahead and bring you back on, and then when you're done, we'll go ahead and we'll post the winner.
I don't think Pete is in the room. I think he walked across the street to pick up something to eat. Okay.
Can I just add
Sure,
something?
go ahead, Karen.
It was just to add on to what Heath has been saying about some of the repeat questions we've been having in live chat. While reading over everybody's chats, I've noticed quite a few members are asking about their daily growth not being correct. I don't think some of the members understand that the 2% is not the 2% of the total amount that you're getting. It's the 2%. How much your PA will be added on top of that? Because some members are saying, like, say if they do a PA for 100 and they'll only see $20 or $30 at the end, they're panicking, thinking that that's all they're going to get. So just to explain to the new people that the 2% daily is the extra that you will be paid for an RA, not the total amount. That makes sense?
Yes, it does, Miss Karen, and thank you very much. And thank you for the hard work that you do.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Jude.
Yes,
Oh, my. Oh, thank you.
We appreciate your feedback, your input, and everything that you do for the entire community, namely training the volunteers. You know, that is very, very much appreciated, my friend. And yes, it should be really, really simple to understand. If a newcomer goes to the website, he sees those she sees those 4 characters, and when they click on it, like the message above says, click an icon, or I forgot exactly what it says, to see details. For example, if they click on the minimizer icon, the full details come in view, and it clearly says what the minimum is. Minimum is $20. If they do a PA of $20, the growth on a $20 PA is what, $2, right? Or sorry, $6. So their return would be $20 of the PA back plus $6 in growth. If they do 100, they max it out, that's $100. They would get 100 back plus 30%, which is the growth, right? It's very, very simple. They just need to try to grasp it as they see the plans in view. Kickstarter, same thing. Although minimum is 110, so do the math. 30% on 110, and then you can see what the exact amount is. It's always your the Kickstarter and the other plans. It is, first of all, it's the amount of your PA back plus the growth minus the CRF contribution based on the amount of the PA. Yeah, it's very, very simple. There is a need. I see a need for a PowerPoint that will explain this step by step and have that PowerPoint loop 24/7. Okay, guys, the time is up. The poll is closed. Let me just quickly take a screenshot so that everybody can see the actual results. I will read them to you. I will post the post a link to that screenshot so everybody can see the actual poll, and then I will take the poll down. Message number 1 got 2 votes. Message number 2 got 5 votes, and message number 3 got 7 votes. So now the poll is now closed. Now all I need to know from any of our mods here, who submitted the winning message number 3. Message number 3 was the winner. That person will receive $50 worth of Bitcoin. If we can do this quickly, fine. If not, then we will close this call, and then we will do the actual $50 award via Bitcoin in the support room. Okay, that would be yeah, I know who it is. Okay, let's just end this call, and then we will do the actual reward in the conference room. Thank you very much, folks. God bless, and see you all again tomorrow on the special training webinar with our awesome sub-admin, Vivian.